Welcome back in, everybody, to the second game, and it is going to be Nemiga coming out on top in that first game of the series, and Navi. That is definitely not what they wanted. So, in this second game, Harry, do you think they need to step up the aggression? You'll get a lot more active in this game here for Navi.
I think I'm gonna stop answering those questions because every single time we watch Navi, yeah, I would like them to play more aggressively, but that's obviously not gonna happen. So I'm gonna change for what I want to see because that's the only way that they have been able to win. Is I want to see them get something that is you have stronger team fight in the later portions of the game, and you have an easier time to execute it. So even if you would lose all your towers, you would have an ability to take a fight or get something that's gonna help you defend the towers. Tidehunters, Underlords, stuff like that can transition into a late game presence as well, and that's how I think they can beat Nemiga. If it's we need to match Nemiga's aggression from the past 7 series that we've casted of Navi, I'm gonna say that's not gonna be happening, or 6 series, doesn't matter. So I'm all for them going for the late game. The way the series that they won was against One Move, who also orient a lot on the late game, and especially did in that series. So when it comes to late game execution, that is where Navi are solid, and they're afraid to be making moves early, which is something I don't like, but that is the current situation.
Yeah, and again, we see that the Lena's going to get through. The Timbersaw goes out. The Ricky's going to go. The Broodmother and the Bat Rider this time. So we still see the Rubik's in there, the Tree's in here, the Tiny, the Tusk, all big heroes. The Death Prophet as well that we didn't speak about in that last draft. But that hero has been absolutely running wild. Clock is still there. So some really big picks for those two teams to pick up in this first phase.
If I'm Nemiga, I'd be okay with the DP. If I'm Navi, I would skip it because it does need a solid amount of aggression early on if you want the DP to work out. If you're just farming the jungle with the DP, you're not really using it to its full potential. So I like the Treant. Treant is a good way. You have this late game support that does help you defend towers, right?
10
That's
seconds
it's the best thing they can open up the draft with, in my opinion.
5
Yeah,
seconds
it does mean that the Clock and the Lena are both going to be open for Nemiga if they want to pick this up here. And even though the Lena wasn't that effective in the last game, they're going to go for the Rubik right off the bat. Do they pick the Lena to go with it, though?
I wouldn't like it. Nemiga have lost every single game with the Lena, so just don't do it, right? Don't do it. It looks to me that they don't understand really the strength of the hero currently. It comes from Kiritich needs to play it like 20 games in a row in a pub, and then he would come here, okay guys, we need to do this, this, and this and this works, this and this doesn't. Considering that they've even put the Lena on the mid lane a couple of times, and just Malrine played it with the Shadow Blade or something along those lines, I think it goes to show that they're not too comfortable with the hero and they should skip it. And exactly what they do, but what they are comfortable with is a Primal Beast against the Treant Protector. I think that's something that they pick every single time.
Yeah, and Nemiga being able to pick this up, more than likely going the way of Malrine, do you think?
Yes, I would assume so. He has been the one that has played it, even in a game where they had a Bat Rider. It was Vazia that took over the Bat Rider in that game. So overall, it has been Malrine on the Primal Beast.
Okay, well, Death Prophet is going to go the way of Navi here, and the Lena gets completely ignored for both sides. So maybe both teams thinking that, yeah, they don't have the best grasp on the hero, so they're not going to risk it just for that potential power spike if they have heroes that they are more comfortable on. And looking at this next ban phase, do you then either side look to take it out, or do you just let it go through?
If you are Navi, you don't want to. You have a DP, so any burst type hero you're not too happy with. But I'd rather they ban out like a Hoodwink or a Techies, actually, because that's what Nemiga are lacking. Nemiga have solid output of damage, but they don't have burst.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really has to come out from your carry. I'd rather Ursa gets banned out. That's a bigger one for me.
Yeah, and we have seen that Hellscream has been really good on that techies. You know, it is one of the heroes that he likes to pick up. The Zeus is another one. He does like those bursts. I mean, I'm saying really good because they've not won a series, but there have been points where he has been impressive on like the Zeus on the techies from that position for those burst type heroes. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either of those heroes come out for him here. And it was banned. The Zeus at least was banned in that last series, in the last game. But Navi, they take out the Beastmaster here for this next one, and the Drow's going to go here from the side of Nemiga.
Well, overall, when you look at the lineup of Navi, they want to be pushing towers, and you see that there's no burst on the enemy side, so you're okay with the DP being in front. But considering that there's no burst on the other side, you can approach it, get burst and kill the DP, or you can say, let's go to the other side of the map and just mimic what the DP is doing. And once the DP takes towers, she's not as good as holding an area as the Beastmaster is.
Yeah, and what would you then want here? Because the Pugna's gonna the Pugna, it's a weird one to me. So the Lina does get banned out here. So Nemiga looking for those range carry heroes to ban out with the Train Protector, which does seem like a nice combo. Just to be able to get the Train Protector with the Leechy, the chase comes out from anyone that's got a stun, or the slow like the Drow and the Lina. And Nemiga, I mean, Navi could still go for the sniper.
Yeah, for me, the sniper is the best out of the three, actually, because you have two repositioning spells.
5 seconds remaining.
So that is... Lina tends to suffer sometimes against the Primal Beast, especially if the Primal Beast has a good game. Drow at least has the silence, and you go for a Hurricane Pike. That one I like, but I think the sniper is the one that they should be afraid the most. Wouldn't surprise me if they ban it, though. I don't know if I've seen VTune play the sniper overall.
Team ban.
Yeah, actually going to go for the Terrorblade here. Excuse me, the Terrorblade ban here, Navi. So Nemiga, do they want to be taking out that sniper? It looks like they are taking out those ranged carries and targeting out against VTune in this second phase of the bans.
Again, I don't remember seeing him play it, so maybe you just go with that one. He has played a
5
troll
seconds remaining.
on Navi against Team Spirit.
And we all know how that went.
Well, okay, but it wouldn't be too bad, with the Treant in the lane. At least laning phase wise, it would be solid. But it seems like teams have pretty much written off the troll, especially if they don't have something like a Magnus on their side. It is hard to make it work. I would say sniper would be my ban. They get rid of the Dawnbreaker and pick up a Nature's Prophet. So they're gonna be making it a little bit harder for Navi to guess where the Nature's Prophet will go.
Yeah, and again, that Dawnbreaker does have an answer to the global presence of the Nature's Prophet. So Nemiga just saying immediately they don't want to be playing up against that Dawnbreaker. They don't want Navi to be able to react. You do still have heroes like the Spectre, like the Zeus that could use that global presence. AA doesn't really ever get picked up at the minute. What's wrong with the AA at the minute? Is it just a garbage hero?
It's very easy to exploit in the laning phase, right? From minute 1 to minute 10, you can get absolutely demolished, and that's it is a problem when your side lanes are gonna go bad. But I think there are places for it in the game, but no one has really played it too much. In pubs, you're just gonna get absolutely decimated, so you can't really practice it anywhere and see if it can make sense. But Navi, okay, I'm now pretty intrigued with this one. This is probably a position for Spirit Breaker and either an offlane Snapfire or an offlane DP. We'll see which one it is. I guess if it is a carry Nature's Prophet, you want the Snapfire against that one because it deals a little bit better with the Treants.
Yeah, I was just going to mention the Undying because you're coming up against 3 strength heroes in the lineup from Navi so far. So bringing out that Undying with the decay stacks and being able to put pressure, take away that main start and put pressure onto Navi in the lane. Undying, I really like this hero coming out against what Navi have as a lineup.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm kind of afraid for Tombstone is useless against the Little Shredder. So initially, that's not an issue. In a lane against the Spirit Breaker and a Snapfire, you're still not going to be super strong if it is what Navi decide to run. So I'm not so sure about it, right? I can see the strength of it. You want to snowball if you're Nemiga. You want to control the entirety of the map. But I think there are weaknesses, pretty apparent weaknesses in their lineup. And the inability to kill someone from 100 to 0 is there for sure. And you're playing against the Death Prophet. So I'm not the biggest fan.
Okay. Is there anything that Nemiga can pick up here for this, like the carry? Because they do have that final pick as well. Is there anything that you like that would go well with the lineup that then does bring that, that gets that 100 to 0 in, that does offer that team fight potential?
You need an offlaner. I think they need an offlaner currently, considering their heroes, unless they're going to be running an offlane Primal Beast. So Centaur would have been great. It has been banned out. Something that jumps in and kills you. You know, heroes that come to mind aren't really being played all that much currently. So I'm not sure how they would want to round up their draft. I personally would like that. Maybe go for something like a Slardar, depending on what Navi picks. You know, wouldn't be too bad.
Would it be the offlane, or would you not be looking to put the Primal Beast in mid and like the Nature's Prophet in the off? Because you're not going to run the Snapfire and the safe lane up against the Nature's Prophet, right?
True, but in terms of laning matchups, Undying likes laning in the safe lane because you have a long lane to chase.
Yeah.
And Nature's Prophet is going to lane better with the Undying than it will with the Rubik. So all of those things do matter overall. So I would... I don't think that Nemiga are going to be switching it up.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay. So looking for that offlane, I mean, what else is still there that Vazia can play? We've seen a couple of OD offlanes.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it at the start of the... Am I getting confused? Am I thinking it was the mid lane ODs and not offlane ODs? I probably am.
Vazia played it a long time ago, but overall, we have had... Kiyotaka has, in my mind, played the most ODs from what you and me have casted very successfully in the mid lane. So we haven't seen a lot of offlane ODs. But I think Nemiga need a melee hero.
I was thinking, what about the Doom? You'd be able to get the Doom off onto the Death Prophet, so if you can get it off before the Exorcism and the Spirit Siphon start to come out, it's a good jump tool. You've got the Infernal Blade, which is going to be doing percentage HP damage as well. It's a big tanky hero. You build into the Greaves. Usually you build into the Greaves anyway, so you have that sustain coming out on the side of Nemiga as well.
I wouldn't hate it, but the Doom means that unless you're starting off the fight, you're in a lot of trouble, and you're playing against the Spirit Breaker, which is kind of the ultimate vision hero in this game. So Nemiga, how they're getting vision in this game is by pushing in the waves, and Navi, they have the vision hero in the Spirit Breaker.
Okay, and Navi, looking for V-tunes here. What's left?
that is a hard question, really.
Like a Lifestealer or something? Yeah, Wraith King.
Remaining.
Wraith King is something that he has played. Armor of Nemiga's heroes, not high.
5 seconds remaining.
Wouldn't hate it. From the range heroes, Clinks is in the pool. I would be okay with that as well.
Yeah.
Though he hasn't played it, we haven't seen it. The last time I saw Clinks being played was, I think it was Monaspa.
Ooh.
They go for the Luna.
Okay.
That's a decent one.
Yeah, it's quite nice up against in the middle of the fights when you've got those glaives bouncing around the treants from the Nature's Prophet. Gets a quick BKB as well, so can get active in the fights.
10
and
seconds remaining.
just the push potential, the farm potential that comes out from this hero. If you do get a good
5
start,
seconds
Navi
remaining.
might just be able to run over the side of Nemiga with those glaives and the damage that the Luna puts out.
I really like it. I really like this Luna. I would say Nemiga right now, just pick up a carry, right? Get an Ursa. Get like an Ursa right now. You're definitely lacking in that that burst potential to jump in and just to blow up a target. It doesn't matter that it messes up your lanes.
Choose a hero.
What do you go? Okay, yeah, they're not gonna be listening to that one, and they go for a Lash. So that's gonna be their damage dealer. Does push down towers. This is different from Nemiga because they're not looking for kills. They're looking to shut down the map. Might be fine considering who they're playing against. Given that Navi are very passive, if you're able to push in all of the waves and actually get the early towers, close down the map, then the Luna cannot get super strong. So, you know, overall, I'm not the biggest fan of Nemiga's draft, but considering Navi's playstyle, I think it might just work.
Yeah. How does the lineup? I mean, I'm looking at. I do like the Luna pickup. You know, I'm kind of leaning towards that, but I just think Nemiga, again, they played that first game so well that in terms of the actual player attitude, I'm expecting them to come in and, you know, just try and do the exact same thing and force Navi back in this, you know, the early stages and get really aggressive as well. And I don't know how Navi's going to be able to deal with it.
Navi's lineup, considering what they're playing against and what they have, needs a lot of speed. If they speed it up, I think they have a good shot. Though overall, I'm gonna be going for Nemiga just from what was shown.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Nemiga as well. Like I said, I think they come in that they've got no worries, they've got no issues coming into this game. They know they're down anyway, so they're having a bit of fun with it. You know, they're playing around, and at the minute they just seem a lot more comfortable than Navi. That again in that first game, maybe that the early nerves get into them, and they just couldn't set the tempo they needed to win the game.
Yeah, definitely couldn't do it. But Navi, you know, maybe they have what it takes. I really like the Luna. I like the strength of their lanes. I think it can work out quite well. So maybe they can make it work finally.
Yep, but before we get into game number 2, there's gonna be a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
So, Navi need this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Navi need this to stay in with a chance of staying up in the division, and it's looking rough for them. That first game was, again, no sugarcoating. It was a stomp from Nemiga, and the team that I expected Nemiga to be coming into Division 1 after how well they did in Division 2 in the last tour of last season, I thought they were going to look really good coming into Division 1. They just did not step up, but that last game up against Navi, they turned it on, and they just destroyed Navi. So Navi in this second game, they need to win this.
Oh, B-Tune is giving us very hard math problems there on the screen, but people didn't see it. 2 + 2 × 2, without any. What do you call the? What do you call them, Rob? The things you put numbers in and then they are isolated from the other ones. Come on, you're
Brackets?
from yeah, brackets. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the bracket, yeah, 'cause that's without the brackets. So giving us some really hard math problems to think about. But overall, well, Nemiga, of course, against weaker teams, they're gonna look amazing because they are a snowball type team, and that's why they rocked some of the weaker teams in the region. But then when you get against the bigger ones and they know that you have one play style ready, they draft against it, they draft around it, they make it easier for themselves, and then you need to play a perfect game. And you find out that it's easy to play a perfect game when you're ahead, but when you're not ahead, it's just not that easy to make the moves work. So in the end, you know, I was hoping they were gonna put up more of a fight, Nemiga, and that they're gonna be able to adjust, but it needs time. You know, maybe in a year or two, you're gonna be looking at some of these players being incredibly good, but they still need time.
Yeah, I mean they are still very young players, so they do still have that time to adapt, to improve. And playing on Amiga might be the best place for them at the minute because they're learning as a squad. You know, they're looking to improve. They are playing those better players, those better teams up in Division 1, so they're going to have enough to go back and study after the season ends. And that's how you improve, right? You have to play the best to be the best, and that's how Nemiga probably approach the season. That okay, that even if it doesn't work out, which it didn't, but they could still get the experience of playing with those better teams.
I really like that they stayed together, but the reality is for Nemiga that maybe you would need a little bit of experience from the side, playing with the more experienced captain to show you how to adapt, you know, or to show you how to really put some of your heroes into the draft. And that's kind of a bummer, but I loved it that they stayed together. I loved the atmosphere that we had on some of their interviews in the last year when they said, I love this team and stuff like that. And I was really, really happy that they stayed together. But overall, a little bit more of experience might be needed against the bigger teams, but who knows? Maybe if they stay together, maybe they can learn together and just get to that spot without cheating and going to steal some strats and ideas from the older guys.
Yeah, and again, there's still young players, so they do still have that plenty of time. Meanwhile, on the side of Navi, again, it does seem like it's more of an experimental team. You know, the same because Lays, when he was, unless I'm getting my team names wrong, you know, he was destroyed when he was playing on V Gaming. And that entire roster from V looked really good, and it just, you know, they have split up now. They've kind of all gone their separate ways. Lay's probably the most high-profile player from that team at the minute, playing on Navi. He's just not looked as good as since V split up, and it is kind of a shame because you know that iteration of V and Hydra, they looked really good. They looked incredibly strong. They were dominated. In fact, V came up. They were playing under the banner of Rune Eaters. They came up into Division 1. They just couldn't get themselves far enough ahead to stay in that division, and they did end up dropping back down. You know, again splitting up. But yeah, it's nice to see at least that there is growth in the tier two, the smaller teams coming out from the Eastern European scene, because that's how that scene stays alive.
Yeah, there are a lot of new players. You know, we were talking about Nemiga and staying together. I don't know what this means. People aren't in the game, but I'm seeing what some of the players are writing. And Melrine said, "Это мой последний dan na Titanice." It means that this is my last day on the Titanic. Maybe it's like this Nemiga lineup. This is a sinking ship. I'm out as we are here praising them. Yo, we stayed together. We're all great here. I didn't see the whole conversation, but him and VTune are saying something. I can't really understand everything, but some of it I can. And could be really funny. We're like, Nemiga, well played for staying together. You're awesome. After the last game of the Division 1, Malrine is like, I'm out. You guys are sinking.
Yeah, they're never going to play with each other ever again. You know, they all hate each other now. They can't wait to be done with each other and split up and find new teams.
That is the thing. I mean, to hate someone, you need to love them first. And considering that they were like, I love this team, you know, you never know like what the atmosphere is of.
Yeah, they're all playing in different rooms with the doors locked, and they're not even on Discord. They're just, they're communicating in game when they need to through pings and voice lines and that. Well, the voice lines going so far, it does seem like that's what they're doing. But guys, before we get into this game, there is a pause. You know, you're not missing anything. There's no action. There's no kills or anything happening. We are in a pause, so we are going to try and resolve this. I say we as if me and you casters start the game, as if we have anything to do with this. But yeah, the admins are going to resolve this as soon as possible. We will get into the second game of the first series. So for the moment, we're just going to be talking nonsense.
That's awesome. Do we have an official reason, Rob, why there is a pause? No, I know there was some problem with the cameras overall, but I don't know what the if that has been resolved. So one of the players did have a problem with their webcams.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing that I can see that says why we've got the pause. I don't even know which team paused, to be honest. So I don't know whose pause time here is ticking down.
Right now, a little bit of a thing. Players are talking about clothes or clothing items. Like I bought this, I bought that. We're not gonna mention any of the lines there, just to not give them commercials. But they're talking about buying some things. Maybe
yeah. If they want the
wrong.
advertising, they can pay us to they can sponsor us. So yeah, we'll just mention that. I mean, I have no idea what's being said. They could be saying anything here, and obviously I don't read it, so I don't know what's being said.
Now it's about food.
Oh, okay.
They went from clothing items. Now they're going about fast food chains, and I don't really understand what they're talking about. Though there was a moment, and I got really happy about it. Right now in Serbia, we'll have a lot of people from Russia. We have a lot of people in Ukraine on the streets as well. You can hear them. You go into the bus and you feel like you're playing Dota, right? In the Europe region. And there was one conversation, in the street. The girl was talking pretty loudly, and I could get what she was talking about. I was really proud of myself, and that's what you get just from playing Dota.
That's what you might get from playing Dota. All I get is abuse from playing Dota. So I have not picked up any. Well, I've picked up some language skills that maybe aren't safe for broadcast. But yeah. So I suppose if you are learning the language, being involved in it, being steeped in it, like in the game, like say with the people around the streets as well, that it is quite nice. So maybe that is one of the benefits that comes out from playing the game, if there is any benefits from playing Dota, because
What are you talking about? There are so many benefits from playing Dota.
Go on then.
Anyways,
all I get is misery from playing Dota.
It is VTune's camera currently that is having issues. So as soon as he reconnects, we should be coming into the game. I don't know. I get love. I get friends. Everything. You and me, we never would have met each other if there was no Dota. So I can see that you do not value our friendship.
No, I said playing Dota. Talking about that, I could talk about Dota. Yeah, I could cast it Dota all day long.
If you hadn't played Dota, you wouldn't be able to cast it, right? What would you say? This hero called Nature's Prophet, he is using the spell where he's creating trees. Like, how'd that look, right? So it was from playing Dota that it came out towards what you're doing right now, and our beautiful friendship as co-casters, and that's one beautiful thing.
Fair enough. But does that really make up for the daily abuse I get and losing MMR and the mental health? It's probably about even, I'd say.
Okay. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. My friendship is worth as much as mental abuse, but you know, on the other end of the spectrum. But I think the game is gonna be starting right now. That's good for us, Rob, because we were losing our subject there. To
I
talk
was
about.
gonna crack out the dad joke book and just get on with that. You know, just read those on stream. That was about where I was heading with if the game didn't unpause.
Oh man, I love those. I love those. Yeah, sometimes they are they're not the nicest ones, and when I read them, I start laughing, and I think like I'm going to hell.
And so we are going to be getting into the game. Everybody is ready now. You know, the voice lines are being spammed out, but we are here. We are finally into game number 2. And Navi once again making that move out, but Vazia coming along, crushing those trees with the trample. So taking that all away, and Navi, they knew that was going to happen. That's why they started to make the move over, but with the trample just being able to go through so quick, Navi have no chance to respond to those trees being taken down.
Yeah, this is, I think it was in Han, Heroes of New Earth, the game RIP, you know. The safe lane was called long lane, and the off lane would be called short lane, right? And that is just the case. It is much faster that you get towards your off lane than towards your safe lane. It's not that big of a road, and then Vazia was able to get there and just crush every single trees before Navi even came close.
Yeah, and what can they... I mean, the walls go down as well, so that's quite nice that they knew that Navi wanted to make a move. So you see that Navi, you know, they're not going to be able to get these wards down for free. They're already going to be able to see Maori in the river now as well, and at least Nemiga, they do get some free wards. They could have got some D wards out if any of the river wards came out, because we do see those sometimes go onto the other side of the map. You know, you do cross the river to drop those down, and Nemiga already in a great position to get those D wards off if they did come out.
They can do it, but they haven't found them so far. Overall, what I'm very interested in this game in particular is how the top lane will do, because it is not gonna be a position 3 Snapfire. It is a position 3 Spirit Breaker, and we remember last game, like. Spirit Breaker and the Primal Beast, kind of the same heroes. You're gonna fight the hero on the side, and then the Spirit Breaker is gonna come over and kill him. Well, that's not gonna be happening, because Undying doesn't really like chasing heroes on the side. He likes to run towards the cores. Yeah.
And you can see that Sobad, he's putting out a lot of aggression onto Laze. Just the one decay stack coming through here as well. Twin Strong, he's going to be procced by that next. Trying to create a lane behind that tier 2, tier 1 tower as he gets the pull through. But yeah, Laze has to be careful, because he can get the charge away, but he's still going to be taking a lot of damage from those trees coming through. That you see the Kiritich started off with a Blightstone there as well. So he is going to put a lot of damage onto Laze if Laze isn't aware of the aggression coming towards him.
Yeah, he loses a ton of HP, and then this hero that has a ton of right click and also has a Blightstone just crushes you with right clicks. It's a very hard lane to play into, though. Snapfire and the Spirit Breaker do have potential to turn this lane around. Level 3, 4, that is when they become scary, and when Undying is going to be losing all of his mana, basically.
Yeah, we see that the Undying this time isn't starting off with the usual 50 mango build. You know, he's not on that veggie diet coming through. Undying, he wants those brains, and it looks like he wants to try and get onto Laze to get them off now as well. Treant's being spawned here by the Prophet, but it looks like, again, just to clear off some trees and help the aggression onto Laze. As Undying, the charge comes through, Sobad takes a little bit of damage, but again, just going to be able to stack up with the Decay. The Cookie comes out, it will connect onto the Undying. Scatterblast now as well, but Laze, he's going to be chased down, the Tombstone will be dropped, and there's going to be the TP in. In fact, this might be the first blood. He's trying to avoid the high ground here, Sweden Strong, but does Prophet want to go for it? Still tracking with the Treant, so he might be able to scout this one out. Oh, he's going to give it up, it looks like.
One cool play that the Nature's Prophet made was he sent the Treant to deny the top water rune, and the only water rune went to Malrine. So that was quite a nice play there from the Prophet. We could see the Treant kind of going down that line, but we didn't really look at it while it was denying the rune.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage for Mallory in the bottom lane, and you can see that he has to back himself away because the telekinesis came out. You know, there's the points into the trample there as well. A lot of damage going out from Vazia. Only level 2 though. Potentially at level 3 would have had it and being able to get the kill onto the Treant. But the Treant coming through with a leech seed. You know, he's a tanky hero anyway with 800 health. So they didn't have the damage of that time to take him down.
Yeah, level 2 trample is pretty much when you start dishing out the damage. So you don't want to be super aggressive before that does come. It's Rubik's job to go through some of the region of the Treant, and then when you get him low, when the Primal Beast has the levels, that's when you're gonna go for the kill.
Yeah, and he is going to be going towards the windlace as well as what looks like the power treads. He's already got his boots of Vazia, getting a little bit out of that onto the trample, but when the phase boots, that windlace comes out, he's going to have more effectiveness with that. And again, just a little bit of an extra power spike to come out for the Primal Beast.
Still, Luna and the Treant is a very strong lane. You know, Treant plus some of the damage from the Lunar Blessing. You don't really want to be dealing with that one. Plus, Lucid Beam is one of the best spells to stop the Primal Beast. You know, the mini stun onto an onslaught, and then suddenly you can't get on top of a target with a trample. It really does change the lane.
Do you think that the Primal Beast in this lane, up against the Luna, does he want to go for that point in the uproar again at level 4, or does he want to be maxing out onto the onslaught, into the trample? I
think not. I think you don't need it here.
Yeah.
It might not be needed. If you're not on top of the enemies, just try to get on top of them. That's the best thing. And, you know, try to kill them as fast as possible. Would be the easiest way.
And in the mid lane as well, we've not spoke about it just yet, but Nicky Cool, he had no game in that last one. You know, he wasn't the coolest hero on the map, and he got punished for it. And this time, the Death Prophet up against the Lash. How is this lane going to play out, do you think?
I don't see anyone coming out heavily ahead. Whoever rotates, the other one is going to be doing a lot of damage to the tower. That's why we see Malrine getting more points in the Edict early on, because you want to be able to match the Exorcism once the time does come. But overall, in terms of CS, it is a skill-based matchup, and overall it's just going to be even for now.
Yeah, and let's see. I mean, Malrine, like you said, they do have that potential each to take the towers. So, is this going to be one of those matchups where the mid laners don't really want to move off this mid lane? You know, you're going to be expecting the supports to rotate in to help out.
You wait for the Rubik on one side, you wait for the Snapper on the other side, and then you rotate. So that's kind of the idea, but it's who strikes first. If, let's say, the Rubik comes, you still want to apply some pressure to the Death Prophet so that she's low, and then you can rotate or maybe apply the pressure to the mid lane. So rotations to the mid lane are gonna be the first ones that happen, and then from the mid lane once the other hero is dead or pushed back or whatever.
Yeah, and I suppose as well that Kiritich on the charge on Lays, as well as Kiritich, because we've seen Nature's Prophets, even playing this position 1, haven't been shy at rotating in, you know, getting that TP off and looking to help secure a fight in the mid lane. And Sweden's strong. He doesn't have a point into the little shot. They're going to be slowed down by the lightning. The cookie comes out, but the zombies, they're going to be chasing, and so bad. He picks up first blood. Really nice goal for him. Nicky Cool, though, you have to back yourself away from this one. 2 heroes. He might try and get aggressive with the lightning into the split earth, and Nicky, you need to move away.
3 if you count the Rubik, who's saving the rune for Malrine. That is true. That is also the thing. That's the rotations towards the mid lane, and with the haste, that's one of the best runes for Alesh. He can run down the Death Prophet and actually just force out the Spirit Siphon, get out, and then go back in. That is a big thing.
Oh, Lei's going to use that charge on the top onto Kiritich just because I heard it through the speakers, but not actually connecting onto anyone, not being able to get a gank potential out of that. Malrine, yeah, he's going to stay in the mid lane. He's going to be using that pulse Nova to come up. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, how's V-Tune looking in terms of farm? He is sitting at the most last hits, 43 to 5, you know, dancing up and down there with the Lash. Not too far up behind on the net worth as well.
Yep, this Luna is getting a good time in the lane, and it's to be expected, to be honest. The Luna, with the 3 points in Lunar Blessing, plus you're buffing up the Treant, that's a lot of damage that can be done in that lane. But that's why Malrine is coming over.
Look at this deep ward as well. They're going to be able to see Marty, and Marty, can he get himself away from this one? The haste comes out from Malrine, so Malrine, he's going to have the body block, the Pulse Nova going there as well as the Edict, the Lightning Bolt to slow him down. And Malrine gets a really nice kill over onto the tree, and he's just going to be able to get himself back to the lane without losing any pressure on the tower as well, because Nicky Cool doesn't want to use the Exorcism before he crosses the river, and the creep's not even going to be able to cross the river before Malrine gets back.
I think just before the runes, the Tombstone on the top lane was taken down, so for that one, Nemiga are not going to have the Tombstone, and ideally you want to be fighting around the runes if you are Nemiga.
Yeah, and Vazia on the bottom lane, he's putting pressure onto the tier 1. There is still the living armor, but the Luna already rotated away, so it's going to be a free lane for the Primal Beast. You can see here Luna looking to the jungle to get that farm out. He's already got himself the Morbid Mask, as well as just the extra damage coming through from that Broom Handle, the extra armor as well. So he is going to be able to find that jungle farm. Maybe just looks for... It is going to be the Mask of Madness to come out. In fact, he's going to be seen, though, by the ward. Is that the observer? It's an observer ward, so they are going to be able to see it now. The sentry comes out. Now he's going to be able to get the T-ward.
Yeah, he's protecting himself. He knows that his teammates don't really want to rotate too much, so he's doing it himself. He needs to be protecting himself. Currently, as Malady protects his tower, he's not gonna be able to just go next to the Luna for the entirety of the game like he was doing in the previous one.
No, at least Malady here, he gets himself through the trees, trying to slow down the push onto this tier 1 tower. But Vazia as well as Hellscream, they just want to be coming onto this tower. And I don't know how long Malady can keep it alive, even with the 2 points into the living armor. It looks like the creeps, you know, you can see that Vazia, he's pulling the creeps into the neutrals. He's pulling them behind, so he's going to be able to get the trample off, do the damage, clean those creeps up, and then just go right back onto the tower.
I think, okay, now they're going to be committing for that one. Nemiga do want to finish this one quickly so that Navi cannot respond. You don't want Navi to be able to respond, so he's not really going to be able to keep it alive for any longer when Kiritich does come.
Yeah, while that's going on the bottom lane, Kiritich does take it, but Nikki Cool's going to be here. Exorcism's going to be started in a full health tower. Fortification going to be used, so let's see if anyone rotates up to help defend this tier 1, or if they're just going to try and use this to delay Nikki Cool, stop him from being able to rotate here with Lays as well as the mid lane. You can see that Malrine trying to do his best with the edict and just forcing V-Tune away. V-Tune's trying to pull back behind that tier 1 tower with the creeps to try and find the farm, and doesn't want to step up, doesn't want to take that aggression from the Lesh coming out with that edict and potential pulse nova as well. So bad backing him up. So
Nemiga sent Vazia to the top lane again when their tower dropped. That is really weird. They made a mistake like this in the previous game as well, though. At least this time, Vazia.
Oh, Lays, he does get that the chase off though with the onslaught here. Vazia and Lays with the charge. Can he get himself away? 8 seconds until the charge is back up. So he's looking all right. And no one's going to TP in, no one's going to get aggressive here onto the Spirit Breaker. So he is just going to be able to get himself away as Malady looking towards that bottom lane. But again, another ward goes down here on the stairs just behind the pillar. That's going to offer some protection to the Nature's Prophet, but it's going to spot the Luna if the Luna wants to come back into this jungle to find the farm, or anyone on the side of Navi to find this farm.
I'm really interested to who is stronger, Primal Beast or the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker, let's say when he goes in for a charge and there is a Rolling Thunder from the Pango, he always pushes him away, right? Because the Bash is a bigger range around the Spirit Breaker when you're charging than the Rolling Thunder stun is, and then you push him away. But for an Onslaught, I don't know who has the bigger range, because I haven't really seen these heroes go up against each other.
Yeah, and you can see the EGB. They say that Nemiga so far are the favourites. They do have the first couple of kills in the match as well. They're rotating around, finding these towers. As in the mid lane, can they get the push back? Because this is going to be the living armor. Still taking a lot of damage coming out from the Lash and his edict, though.
Nemiga and Navi, they definitely belong in Division 2 in Eastern Europe. You know how I know, Rob?
One.
We have 2 kills in 11 minutes. That's what happened in the Eastern European region for the entire year.
Yeah.
3 tours, Division 2, every single time we don't have a lot of kills. When Tour 3 came, it was a little bit better and more action-packed in the early stages of the game, but it usually started off this way.
Yeah, and it was always the thing in the second match as well, that the first team, or the team that was ahead by a game, didn't want to get overly aggressive and throw the match away, but obviously the team that was behind needed to secure that match to make sure that he stayed in the series and look to progress on. So yeah, you can see the similarities to Division 2, where both teams here just playing it a little bit more defensive than that first game. Even Nemiga with nothing to lose here, they're just playing it a little bit safe because they want this series. They don't want to be going down to Division 2 without at least 1 win.
We have some really fast farmers on the map here, but the thing is that Nemiga has 2, even 3 really fast farmers, whereas Navi, you have a Luna, and that's it. Everyone else just doesn't farm that fast. That's why Nemiga are just going to be going more and more ahead as time progresses.
Yeah, and you see the Rubik able to take the Crypt Swarm, well, not away from the Death Prophet, because the Death Prophet does still have it, but the Rubik going to be able to get a Crypt Swarm of his own. And top lane, Blaze, does he get himself away from this one? Again, he has that charge if he needs to just dive himself out. Going to be taking a lot of damage. Is he though? Is he though?
Yeah, he is stronger. He is stronger than the Primal Beast. We can see the Spirit Breaker is the strongest. Yeah, man, I knew. Strong as an ox.
And the chase comes out. The Crypt Swarm's not going to connect, and Sweden Strong was backing him up. The cookie to the high ground as well. So at least Sweden Strong gets away. Yeah, I wasn't sure
Dire's
if he was
middle
able to get the
tower
range,
is
but the
under
pulverized range isn't really that big, so the stun would connect from the Spirit Breaker first.
Oh, yeah, that one you definitely can. I just thought maybe the onslaught range is bigger than the greater bash around the charging, but no, that's not the case. So Spirit Breaker remains untouchable when he goes in the charge.
Okay, okay. And that really is the unstoppable force and the immovable object there, with obviously the unstoppable force of the Spirit Breaker coming out on top.
He's moving.
Well, but he's unstoppable when he's charging. And the Primal Beast, he's big, he's tanky, he doesn't want to move, he's going to stand his ground in these fights, so,
Radiant's
you know.
middle tower is under attack.
You know, there's that myth, I don't know if it's true or not, that you
Radiant's
cannot
middle
move
tower
a
has
cow, right? And that might be the case. You know
Maybe.
that one?
Yeah, no,
No, that's one?
well, I mean, cows are heavy, man.
Yeah, I know. No, I've never
Radiant's middle
got up
tower
to one
is
and
under
like, yeah, I'm gonna push you away or something along those lines. I don't want to be playing with that one and get trampled.
See, that's the
Radiant's
complete
bottom
opposite, because the
tower is under
Americans,
attack.
they have the thing called cow tipping, right? Where it is, they go and move the cow, they tip it over. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but it's like, it's a big American
Radiant's
reference, and,
bottom
you know, they
tower
go
is under
on about it
attack.
all the time, but, yeah, I've never actually seen it happen. I've never actually seen video footage of someone going and moving and tipping a cow, so maybe they're not movable.
But they get another kill. Third one in the game for Nemiga. Navi still have 0 currently, but the Luna is starting to ramp up the farm. Luna is one of the fastest farmers in the game, really. And when you get that first, second item, when you get a little bit more in terms of damage, you really start going through the creeps super fast. So it's once VTune gets the BKB, it's time for Navi to go. What I'm afraid of is how are you going to force out a fight?
Well, Mallory, Lazy's going to be taking so much damage coming through from Mallory because he already has that Bloodstone. And look at the sustain here on the Lash. Laze dove himself in there, but the Fade Vault coming through, you know, even the Nether Strike being stolen by the Rubik immediately cast out, and Marian just had the damage to bring him down.
But Nemiga are even taking down wards. Look at so bad how aggressively he's positioned in the enemy jungle. We were looking at the Luna farming, but really what's happening here with the rest of his teammates, they're stranded behind the tower. They can't go forward, and they might get dove now once the exorcism is out.
Yeah, you can see here, Vice is going to be coming out to the background now as well. There is going to be the overgrowth, so it's going to stop the pulverize, but the damage isn't going to be enough onto the Death Prophet, because the Death Prophet, he's already used that exorcism, and it's going to be a lot of damage coming through, so they get the kill onto Nicky Cool, but Mallory's going to go down in return. Vizia trying to run himself away, has that onslaught if he wants to maybe turn with this, and he's going to dive right back into it. Kiriticho with the right clicks, and V-Tune gets the kill onto Vizia. So Vizia, he definitely didn't want to go back anyway. He was defending his team, but maybe they have the damage onto the Luna.
Yep, they brought VTune. He saw that his team is gonna get absolutely demolished in the bottom lane, and if I don't help them, they're gone. This Luna is super farmed. When you have a position when you're gonna be doing the damage and they can't get on top of you, you're gonna be doing quite a lot. And actually, it was shown in that fight that once he gets a BKB, that Nemiga are gonna be in trouble, really, if he postures aggressively, goes in, and they don't stun him and kill him from 100 to 0, which is very hard to do. VTune will do massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, and you can see that if you take a look at the net worth as well, he's only about 200 gold behind the NH's Prophet, and that's a Prophet with the Hand of Midas as well. So that's supposed to be the farm accelerator. Oh, they catch out onto the tree, and Tree Malady, what's he going to be able to do here? Has his team behind him with Sweden Strong and Nicky Cool close. So it looks like the side of Nemiga just going to back themselves away. And yeah, Vazia, he was up on the top lane. He's looking for his own farm, looking for his items, because he needs that BKB as well.
So Excalibur had a Twitter rant a couple of days ago, but let's see if there's any action in the bottom lane before we continue with that story.
Yeah, at least he's going to be trapped in. Can't get past the charge, not even going to be used. And Malrin does pick up the kill.
So anyways, his rant on Twitter was about the Nature's Prophet Midas. It went something like, don't buy Midas on Nature's Prophet. If you bought a Midas on Nature's Prophet and won the game, you would have won the game anyways. This hero doesn't beat it. Yeah, that is pretty much what it went like. I'm looking at the game, I'm like, fine that Kiritich has it, considering that you have so many heroes that want to take creeps off the maps. You're not going to be getting all of them, that you are still going to be able to match up the farm. Oh.
Maldi, though, the Wrath of Nature is going to be used, and Kiritic, he gets that kill from afar. Scatterblast comes out, Nikki Cool, he has the Exorcism, but it doesn't look like he's going to use it to chase down. Not even going to be using a Spirit Siphon there as well, but Hellscream, he's going to be the target for the charge, has that Lucent Beam. What can he do? No Silence going to be thrown out, and the Lucent Beam, it stops Lays in his tracks. He's still going to be able to go in with the ultimate, though. Can they get the steal onto the Rubik? He's going to be stunned up. Do they have the damage? They're going to be able to get the kill onto Hellscream, but now they've got the Pulverize coming through from Vazia. He uses that BKB and gets the kill. He will be taken down in return, but he takes down both supports here from the side of Na'Vi.
Nemiga understands the importance of this tower, but they're diving way too much. The second that the Luna starts TPing, get the hell out of there. You don't need to go for it. Yeah, you get the kill there with the Primal Beast 1, but you're not going to be getting out. You're up against the Spirit Breaker. You're up against the Luna that does massive amounts of right-click damage. And the big thing is also, if you were getting V-Tune's BKBs low, that's fine, but you're not. V-Tune is going to save his BKB because he knows behind the tower he's really not going to be touched.
Yeah, and you can see it again, getting ahead of the net worth, because the Luna, with the bouncing glaives here, with the damage that comes out, he just shreds through these creeps so quickly. And the Mask of Madness as well, just to be able to get the place to place, the extra attack speed that comes out from that. And you can see he's just going to go straight for the Hurricane Pike. So if something like that, even without the BKB, or they're going to be able to get the Lucent Beam onto the Lesh now as well, charge through. Malrine, if you want to try and turn onto this, has that Bloodstone, but the control's going to come through here from Lays, and they get the kill onto Malrine. They might even be able to take down Vazia too. Vazia, can he get himself away from this one? He doesn't have any spells left. BKB has already been used. The Sounds comes out. Nikki Cool looking for the chase. Has he gone a little bit too far here as Vazia still taking a lot of harass, but while this is happening, Kiritic, he gets that tower on the bottom lane.
There was no one to kill Nikki Cool. That's why he was going forward as much as he can. But again, the tower did fall on the bottom lane. That's the big one for Nemiga. That's the one that allows you to constantly poke with the Nature's Prophet and get yourself into a position where you're spreading out Na'Vi around the map quite a lot. Because Na'Vi, they want to be together. They have the Spirit Breaker that can connect, but no one else is as fast as he is. So, and neither of their cores have a Boots of Travel. So that makes it very, very tough to play the map now when you're gonna always have to be dealing with the bottom lane. Still Nemiga, on the other hand, they invested so much into that bottom lane and allowed Na'Vi to get back into it.
Yeah, no, the Na'Vi with 5 kills now. 5 kills to 9, a 3k net worth lead here for Nemiga, but V-Tune just continues to farm. He's gonna get that Hurricane Pike as well, and again, if the Sprout comes out, even with you've got the BKB trapped up, you just throw out that Hurricane Pike, force it away, and you can see here, Nemiga, for EGB, still favorites in this match, but Na'Vi, the odds aren't awful here for them to bring this game number 2 back.
It only comes down to it, can Na'Vi force out fights? Can Nemiga find the engagements when they have the numbers advantage? Those are the two things. If it's a 5 versus 5, I wouldn't want to be in Nemiga's shoes.
Yeah, and we can see that Na'Vi, they are stacking up in the mid lane, and what can they do with this? Because again, they have that little bit of momentum in their favor as V-Tune just continues to farm. Hurricane Pike is going to be done. He wants to be going for a Silver Edge next. The smoke, I think, was that a double smoke? I heard it twice.
Because now they're double faster and double more, double invisible. So
I don't think that's how it works, but they are going to be able to find out the Undying, and he's just going to get blown up. Even with the mechanism, V-Tune just rips through him.
Kiritic is out. I'm just thinking, are Nemiga gonna get the Lincoln Spheres anytime soon? With the way that Nature's Prophet is itemizing, he wants to stand his ground against the Luna and the Death Prophet. Don't get me wrong, the Scotty is a great item against both the Luna and the Death Prophet, but I just think the Lincoln Sphere and the ability not to be caught in split push might just have more merit to it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw then the Prophet's trying to do what he can to put the pressure onto that bottom lane. But Lays is going to be splitting it off as V-Tune just continues to find his farm, continues to find these big items. And he's not even used the BKB all that much just yet. You know, it's down to 8 seconds. So just the one use here for V-Tune. He's going to be happy with this, especially if the fights take place at this pace from both sides.
You need to get those BKBs away from him for the late game.
Yeah, bottom lane. Lays is going to be able to get himself away, has that Shadow Blade already, and no chase on, no reveal. So they're not going to be able to get the pick off onto Lays.
I like that Malrine went for Yules against the Spirit Breaker you needed. If you cannot break the Bulldoze, you really cannot keep him in place. Every single stun just doesn't work on him, and he's going to be able to charge away. So I like that they have the Yules. It's a good way to break the charge, but also a great way to make sure that there's no added status resistance on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, and is that then just the main target, I guess? Because, I mean, we've seen Lashes in the past. They get the Yule setups in the fights for the Split Earth. Is he just going to be using that Yule, to prioritize getting the Purge off onto the the Spirit Breaker.
You want to kill the Spirit Breaker if you can. If you kill the Spirit Breaker, it's very hard for Navi to fight.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about fights, Vice is going to try and get himself in here. He even gets a pulverize off now onto the Luna. They're going to be able to take him down, and Vichun, he couldn't get off the BKB. Mortimer Kisses are going to start to fly. Nikki Cool now as well. Sprout comes out. Sweden Strong going to be chased down. Vazia, that BKB does wear off, but Kiritich has his, and Nikki Cool, he's looking to run himself away. The Exorcism is up, but there's going to be the blink forward now as well. Even the Cookie, is it going to be enough? No, they might just change targets, and Sweden Strong will be the next one to go down.
This could be an attempt into Roche. Yeah, they're going for it immediately. Very nice call there coming up from Nemiga. The DD on the Nature's Prophet, man, you can't fight into it. That's the case. Look at how much damage he did in that fight. It was 3.5k. No one else comes close, and they killed the Luna. And that was such an unfortunate way for Navi, because it is Nemiga that blinked in, and the Treant Protector blinks to the other side. He's the one that would be able to break the pulverize, but he blinked forward. And then he wasn't able to do so, and that's why the Luna died ultimately.
It's a little bit rough as Nature's Prophet finishes off the Skadi. Nikki Cool, he's used a lot of these exorcisms at what feels like defensively. And the movement speed's going to be nice to get him out, but he doesn't want to be getting out of the action. You know, he wants to be getting in the middle of it. But it seems that, for the most part, these exorcisms, he's just using it to defend his team.
Breaker going in.
Yeah, Vazia, it's going to connect Lays. He gets that bash as well. The tombstone's going to be dropped. Telekinesis, and Lays, he doesn't have the BKB because he went for the Shadow Blade first. Cookie, V-Tune, Force Staff, going to try and get himself away. Yeah, really nice denial of area here. And now Sweden Strong. Lays going to be in the backlines with the overgrowth. It was stolen and it comes out from the roof. They've got the lockdown onto Lays. Do they have the damage they do? They're even going to be able to get the kill onto Sweden Strong. And Kiritich with the double. He might even go for a little bit more here as Malrine. He's chasing, but he doesn't have that blink dagger to close the gap. V-Tune will be able to get himself away.
Where's Excalibur to tell Kiritich she shouldn't get a Midas, huh? Where are you now? Anyways, this Nature's Prophet is so damn strong currently. Yeah. If it would be the Luna and him fighting each other, and Kiritich doesn't have anyone next to him for the glaives to bounce, he still wins that one. So Navi, they need to make a fight where they force Kiritich to be next to his teammates, and then the Luna goes ham. But you just haven't been able to do so in the engagements. And Nemiga, they seem to have accumulated enough farm that they can take a 5 versus 5.
Yeah, 25 minutes in here, you can see that Nemiga not scared about even being engaged upon by the run-up from Lays and the fall from the rest of the team. They are just getting aggressive. They're starting to take objectives around the map after this Roche as well. So that Roche is going to be a comfort point, having the Aegis onto the Nature's Prophet, being able to have that second life and get straight back in him. Even if you have the buyback, though, you potentially... Oh, Lays. Do they have the damage to take him down here? Leshrak, he's going to try and pop that Bloodstone, keeping himself alive. The sustain coming through from that Pulse Nova, even through the silence now. He might try and turn it around because Kiritich TP is in. There's going to be Overgrowth trying to come out, but Maldi, I don't think connected onto anyone. And they're going to lose Nikki Cool. Nikki can get himself away from this one. They even get the kill with the Wrath of Nature coming through. Kiritich on the double. Can he get any more from this V2 with the BKB now? But Vazia, he's trying to avoid the Mortimer Kisses. The Mortimer Kisses are going to be able to get the kill eventually, but it is going to be V2 out of position and out of life. And even Sweden Strong, the lift, the kill, they take everybody but the tree.
The damage from Navi comes out from this Luna, and if she's not there to start off the fight, your initiation on Malrine means nothing. He heals back up the full, and then you're in a bad position, you're surrounded by enemies, and your BKBs are gonna expire because the fight is going just for so long, and that is just it. Malrine has itemized in a way right now with the Bloodstone, with the Yule Scepter, that they can't kill him unless it's a burst. They burst him down from 100 to 0 because he's gonna heal up. He has those 2.5 seconds. He pulls the enemies out of position, and the mobility of Nemiga, Kiritich, and Vazia in particular is just so great that once the fight is open, they can really easily choose their targets.
Yeah, and Kiritich as well. He started that fight, killed off the Spirit Breaker with the Wrath of Nature. So he got that bonus damage that came out, immediately gets into the fight, and all of it, he hits like a truck. He hits like a truck anyway, but with the bonus damage coming through from the Wrath of Nature, there was just nothing that Navi could do to fight into that, and he was right in the middle of them. You know, TP's into the middle of the fight with the BKB, knows he has the Aegis as well. He just says, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to right-click, and what can you do about this? Absolutely nothing.
That's pretty unfortunate from the Spirit Breaker. He's coming in with a charge, like roar, and then he dies from the Wrath of Nature without even getting it off.
Yeah. Oh, Yule Scepter comes out now. Spirit Breaker, they're going to have the Soul and Spirit Siphon. They're going to be able to have the kill. And Lays, he just gets caught out again, being controlled up. Now the Sprout into the trains. This is going to be damage coming through onto the tier 3. And what can they do? Navi, they have the buyback onto the Spirit Cow if they need it. But Visor rotating in now as well. He's waiting. He's got that BKB. He's got the blink. He's waiting for anybody to come forward and say, come on, somebody come at me so I can pulverize you into the ground.
Kiritich wants the tower with the DD. He knows how strong he is with the Daedalus, and no one is really gonna go for him. You get the tower, that's gonna be enough for Nemiga. Is it?
No, you can see the Vazu, he's coming up onto the high ground. He's playing that body blocker here as they go for that range. If they've got half of the DD left, it is going to be fading off now, but when they took down that tier 3, you know, it was only about 3/4 of the way through, and they want to get maximum efficiency out of it.
They feel like they're so much stronger. And Luna, really, this hero, when it's on the aggressive, when it's stronger, it can feel impossible to deal with it. But when you're on the back foot and you can't really frontline, you're not that fat to be able to frontline at this point, you can't dish out the damage. Seems like Nemiga, they're not afraid of dying whatsoever in this game.
No. And Kiritich, he's going to go back to the Gleipnir as well. He's got that Hand of Midas that he's going to be able to use in 10 seconds as the Aegis fades. So he's going to get all of his mana back. And even with this Aegis fading, the smoke's going to be coming out here from Nemiga. They are confident they can get themselves in a position to find a pick-off. Meanwhile, Navi, they're going to go for a smoke themselves, look for that big wraparound, because one fight could even things up. But on the Radiant side of the map, if Nemiga take this fight, they should be back alive before the real pressure mounts on their base. So they want to keep Navi on this side. They want to be taking the fights around the Radiant high ground.
They went for a smoke because they knew that Navi were probably going to be coming. So once your smoke breaks, you know that they're there and you can react. But also, Navi, they should know the top lane now, you need to be able to retake the triangle if you want to go into this game, and it's just so hard. The lane's constantly being pushed into your favor, and you have this lineup that on paper should be stronger 5 versus 5, but you're not. You're just not currently stronger.
No, at least the Luna's going to be about 30 gold away from the Silver Edge. So the survivability that comes out from that, the extra crit damage there as well. This is where the Luna likes to start to stack the damage, you know. The Skadi afterwards as well for the extra stats, the survivability and the damage that that's going to put out. If the Luna can get to that Skadi, is going to look really scary. The V-Tune could potentially get in and get around those fights and look to pick heroes off, sustaining through those fights as well. But at the minute, Luna is just the main target because the majority of the damage will come from that hero. And Nemiga know this, and they jump straight onto the Luna. They look for the pulverizers, they look for the damage, and they look to take down the Luna first.
The thing is, once he does get it, there's gonna be some halberds coming out. There are gonna be items that are gonna be dealing with it. Right now, Nemiga, no, this Luna is the only one that we maybe have to be afraid of some point, and let's just itemize against her. That's how we will win this game.
Yeah, you can already see the Vice started his off. It's only in the quick buy, you know, he doesn't have any items, it doesn't look like to actually start towards it. But like you say, once those start coming out, it is going to be harder and harder for the Luna to fight into.
And Nemiga are just forcing Navi back here onto the top lane, and even with all of Navi being in their base, how do you start the fight? How do you kill Madeline?
Look at the damage coming through. Yeah, they're going to be able to get the kill onto the tree already. Malady just goes down early on. Lazy has to get himself away here, trying to use that Shadow Blade. He still doesn't have the BKB. He's about 100 gold away from it. He's trying to go with the ultimate off, but it gets cancelled off. So Nicky Cool with the Exorcism again, trying to do what he can into the side of Nemiga, but they need to wait for the BKB for the Spirit Breaker. It's about 50 gold away.
Just wait it out. You don't care. You wait out the Death Prophet Exorcism, and you can go back in. We can see that Nemiga, they feel confident even with the Roche spawning. I still think Roche should be a better option for them, especially if it spawns earlier. But considering there's no Exorcism, Navi are in no position to take a fight.
No, and you can see that it's going to be Marin, the one that retreats. He gets himself the regen rune. This is going to be big. The damage that he puts out in the sustain, if they don't cancel this regen rune off early on, you know, if they want to try and engage, and in fact, they're going to try and get onto Kiritich. Kiritich, though, the Lotus Orb is going to be there. He has that BKB, going to take a lot of damage. And as he gets that dive in, he just immediately has to come through. Yeah, they've got the Flash Golem out on the Undying now as well with that Yule Scepter, but this is looking like it's going to be a really nice fight for Navi, or it was a nice fight for Navi, as the Pulverize on the backlines. They've got the control onto Sweden Strong. They've already got the kill onto the Death Prophet. They're even going to be able to get the kill. He bought out for the BKB, for the Spirit Breaker. He's going to be dead and gone for the next 45.
Very smart move from Navi to get out of the base. They know if they're not coming from a weird position, they won't be able to get a fight. But even with that, Nemiga, they have so many resources around the map. They have a buyback. You killed the Nature's Prophet, like, we got him, but he is back in the fight the same second.
Yeah, and they're even going to be able to take the Pulverize. The tree goes down again. Sweden Strong bought back, but V-Tune, he's not going to be able to do this all on his lonesome. They need to wait. They can't wait for people to come back up, but they can't contest 2 versus 4.
yeah, you can just run in and die, or you can hope that the game lasts for at least 30 more minutes. Okay, Nemiga, can we go back to how we played in the first 10 minutes? No one touches anyone, so that our Luna can farm, get the rapier. But to be frank, Luna isn't really like an ultra late game hero. And
No.
this game is pretty over.
They're going to be called as Nemiga, again, it came a little bit too late in the season, but they finally pick up their first win up against Navi, which means that it is going to be tiebreakers between Darkside and One Move and Navi and Nemiga for placement.
Did you just say it came a little bit too late?
Yeah. I mean, you want your first win in the first week, not in the very last day.
Yeah, but I would say it's way too late for Nemiga. But yeah, this is how they look when they're playing against a team that's weaker than them. They just crush them, right? And as soon as someone is slightly better, it's hard for Nemiga to snowball like this. But they look awesome. I think if they can transfer this kind of a game onto some of the better teams, they're going to be looking much better in the future. In the future seasons, hopefully they stay together again and come back to the Division 1, so we can see if they have improved. But yeah, this is the moment where you're drowning, right? And someone is coming there and you're pulling him down with you. That's what you want. You're gonna give it your all, and they pull Navi down. And these guys are they're gonna be playing again for placement unless someone forfeits, because I've seen that Secret has forfeited their game for placement.
Yeah. It's gonna be. What are the point systems for getting relegated? What is the okay, so you get money, but you don't get any points. So I could see if they wanted to, Nemiga as well as Navi, maybe they just thought it's about $1,000 in prize money though between the two of them, so they might play for that. And yeah, you can see that One Move as well as Darkside, they've got to play for those points. The 30 points for 5th place. 6th place gets no points but $24,000. So there is about $1,000 between each place. And again, that 5th place there between Darkside and One Move for points. So that is something that the teams might look towards. That that $1,000, it's worth playing a best of 3 just to get that place. Maybe get yourself some extra pay.
Yeah, and especially because they were talking about food, they were talking about clothing items.
Yeah.
You need the money to buy those. But the points are what's interesting to me. Remember last TI or this year's TI?
Do I remember that?
Yeah, that was a really big controversy. So I'm thinking that a lot of teams are going to be fighting for every single piece of a DPC point there.
Yeah, literally half a point can be the difference between making TI and having to go through the closed qualifiers. And I think, especially in the Eastern European region, because they were the ones that were affected, they effectively lost a place at TI where they missed. I think it was it Hellraisers that missed out?
No, who were there?
I think in the closed qualifiers. Because
Hellraisers came out from Division 2 and they were really strong, but I think they dropped the ball in the qualifiers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking that because if VP would have gone through on points,
yes,
that
it could be
place,
one other team.
Yeah, that place would have been open. So yeah, definitely in the Eastern European region, they're going to be keenly aware about needing all of the points to get through to TI.
Yeah, but in the end, Nemiga and Navi, even with this win, Nemiga, it's not going to be feeling too good. You're still going to Division 2. You might pull Navi with you, but it just comes down to it. How much of a satisfaction does it give you? Like, we pulled these guys down, but there's a good chance Navi, even if they had won this series, that they would have been the underdogs in the tiebreakers against the 2 other teams. So overall, the path for them was already super hard. So I don't think they're going to be too mad about this loss overall.
No. And this is not going to be it for the day, guys. We've got one more series. Oh God, what a series we've got coming up!
Big
it's
one.
going to be the tiebreakers at the top. Bet Boom and Team Spirit right up there. And hurry, just to in one word, Team Spirit or Bet Boom coming into this final series.
Those are 2 words, Team Spirit and Bet Boom. I'm going to say Spirit. I think Spirit got it. Yeah.
I've got to back the boys, Bet Boom. I think they're going to be taking this unbeatable season, but it is going to be Gary and Trent bringing that. For now, we are going to be jumping to a longer break than usual. Thank you for tuning in. But for now, it is going to be goodbye for me and Harry. We'll see you going forward a lot more in the Eastern European region, Division 2, tiebreaks and such. But Gary and Trent to take over. We'll see you after the break.